Welcome to another electrifying episode of the Underground Nation podcast, hosted by the one and only host with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie. Tonight, we shine the spotlight on powerhouse artist Milyssa Rose. A singer, songwriter, model, entrepreneur, and unstoppable creative force. From award-winning tracks and collaborations with Lil Wyte, Savile Row, and Chubb Rock, to signing with Truth Records and performing at Centennial Olympic Park, Milyssa's story is one of resilience, passion, and reinvention. Let's dive in.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and ghouls, welcome back to the Underground Nation podcast, where we shine the spotlight on the raw, the real, and the relentless. I'm your host with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie. And tonight, we got a powerhouse stepping into the nation. She's a singer, songwriter, model, entrepreneur, and a force whose weather storms most couldn't imagine, and turned pain into powerful anthems. She shared stages with legends, racked up awards, signed with Truth Records, and just dropped a heavy-hitting new project that's shaking up the underground. Family, let's give a ghostly welcome to the one and only Milyssa Rose.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me. That is an intro for sure. Thank you.
Well, you deserve it. You deserve the spotlight after sharing your music with us and us hearing those amazing jams. You deserve way more than that. So thank you for taking the time to speak with us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. It's an honor to have you. So, Milyssa, take us back. What's your earliest memory of music calling your name?
When I was in kindergarten, I played a cat in a play. And that was when I've always been kind of like a ham on stage. And my mom noticed that. And so she got me into, modeling and acting and theater and voice lessons. So she kind of, how some parents like push their kids to the stage. Like I wanted to be there. So I was lucky that my mom wasn't a stage mom, but she recognized that was something that I was
That's awesome. So you were already kind of naturally looking for opportunities while you're in school. You're like, put me in that play, teacher.
Yes.
That's awesome. I mean, it sounded like after reading your bio that you took on mentorship and you lost a mentor, D Cox.
Yes.
And you mentioned that being a very pivotal moment. My condolences, by the way.
Oh, thank you.
But how did grief reshape your art and your drive for all of this?
I was honestly going to quit because I've been working with D for over 10 years and he was like a mentor, a friend. He wasn't a yes person. So if I came in there and I brought in music that he didn't like, he'd be like, you can do better than that. Or if I record something, he'd say, you can do better than that. You go back in and you get that right. And I enjoyed that. He was critical. He was hard on me because he wanted me to do the best. And that's hard to find because a lot of the times when you meet an engineer, they really don't care, right? They just press the button, whatever, collect their money and move on. And he was one of those that he said, I'm putting my name on this. So therefore, if I'm recording you or producing you, I want it to be hot. So if it's not hot, it's not leaving here. And he was not doing well health-wise. Unfortunately, he was hospitalized and he ended up passing. And when that happened, honestly, I didn't want to do music anymore because one, the industry is not exactly, people are not really on the up and up all the time. And I trusted him. And I thought about quitting, but I had a dream, and he was in it, and he told me that we weren't done yet, and so I'm back.
What was the time period between you taking a break and having that dream?
I would say about a year.
Okay.
I didn't do that much for a year. I didn't perform out. I didn't do anything really. And then I started learning how to record myself, and I actually put something out on Facebook that said, "Hey guys, what kind of mic do I need? Or what do I need?" And Saying the Most Wicked actually reached out to me and he introduced me to Bad Mind or Keith Cosmopolis. I hope I say that correctly. And he kind of helped me get my setup and get me where I would need to be. And then I've just been, trying to do better ever since.
Incredible. Well, whoop whoop to Insane the Most Wicked for helping you out doing that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Incredible. So then, can I ask you, during that year, it sounded like you were motivated you eventually start finding motivation and start building your own studio, but did you ever stop writing?
I didn't do it. Yeah, I didn't do anything. Like
Okay.
I really didn't do anything at all. I think one of the first things I did when I reemerged was I did a tribute song to him.
Okay.
So I felt that
Incredible.
that was my way of kind of healing or trying to heal from it. I mean, it's been very difficult. I was thinking, actually, it's funny you mentioned that because the other day, it was like sunshiny outside. It's getting cooler a little bit, not so hot.
Yeah.
And I was like thinking, like on a day like this, I would be going to see D. On a day like this, I'd be seeing D. And I said, I can't believe it's been so many years. Like I don't think you ever get over it, right? I don't think you ever. People always say, oh, it's going to get easier. I don't think it gets easier because if I get frustrated when I'm doing something, I'll be like, oh my God, I wish D was here. Or, oh, I like this. I wish I could get D's opinion on it. And I don't have that anymore. And that's been rather difficult.
Yeah, it's understandable completely. Well, I'm so glad that you're able to find therapeutic ways to get that out through your music. That means a lot. And I know when I listened to a few of your tracks, you could hear pain, you could hear real stories, and I just really was excited to learn more about your journey. When when you look at your journey from those early days to performing at Centennial Olympic Park, what's the biggest transformation you see in yourself from then to now?
You know what? I feel I just want to keep doing more and just perfecting my craft and just seeing what else is out there. I just want to top whatever I'm doing, right? I just always want to come out with more growth and just more knowledge of what I'm doing, what I can do better. Because I'm really, honestly, very hard on myself. So just like nothing's ever good enough, right? And one of the things I've also learned is kind of trying to be as self-contained as possible is one of my friends actually told me this. Raziel, I've done some music with him. He would always say, it's progress, not perfection, right? And that's kind of something that I'm learning on through as well is that I can't always, if the harder I am on myself, I'm going to hinder my progress. And I think I've kind of learned that throughout because I'll put out something or I'll record something or I'll look at a video and I'll be like, oh, I don't like that. I don't like that angle or I don't like this video that I'm putting out to plug myself on like TikTok or Facebook or whatever. So I
Yeah.
think that's the biggest thing is that, I feel I shouldn't be as hard on myself because if I mean, this is going to sound kind of corny, but if I died today, I would be happy that I accomplished what I've accomplished. Right. And like, I need to celebrate that instead of being like, well, that's not enough.
Absolutely, gotta celebrate it. Take the
Yeah.
time to celebrate those accomplishments.
Yeah.
Your versatility. I mean, you span from pop, hip hop, rock, and probably more. What what guides your sound when you sit down to create?
A lot of the times it's either if I'm watching movies or if I'm like out and about, I'll see something I get inspired or I'll start listening to music and think, God, I'd like to have a song like this and but have my own spin on it. But I do, like you said, do a lot of genre bending. Some people like it, some people don't, right? I've always heard
Yeah,
people say,
genre bending. I like that term.
yeah, some people don't like that. They've told me I need to pick a lane. Like I need to pick a lane and I need to go with
Wow.
it. People can't, they can't resonate with me or they don't know what exactly I'm doing or like I'm not going to get enough, fans because of the fact that I go all over the place. Well, I think it's a great idea because who the hell just listens to one kind of music? I've never met a musician who just says, well, I only listen to this.
I sure know.
Yeah. I mean, so I feel like a person on the street just doesn't listen to one kind of music.
They
So
sure don't.
I feel like I do music that resonates with me, that has influenced me, and hopefully, people will like it. If they like it, great. If they don't, then maybe they'll like something else.
Absolutely. Heck yeah. I say swerve in all the lanes. Just go at
Yeah.
your pace.
Yeah.
Either with it or get out the way.
Exactly. That's true.
How do how do collaborations like with Little Wyte, Chubb Rock, how do collaborations stretch your artistry in ways you wouldn't get working solo?
It's interesting to see how other people work and see their inner workings and how their minds work and how they look at tracks and how they pick up how they pick out their beats and how they move. So my friend King actually loves Little Wyte. I'm familiar with Little Wyte. I'm a fan, but he's like a mega fan, right? He's like, oh,
Hey,
we're gonna do a song with Little Wyte, and I was like, okay, cool. So where are we gonna do it? So he lives in Mississippi. I live in Atlanta, and he was like, let's meet in New Orleans during Mardi Gras, and we're gonna do.
okay,
And
sweet.
so we did the video and Mardi Gras, and that was interesting. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, it was a good time.
I bet. What was one thing that you took from that experience?
Don't do a video during Mardi Gras. like honestly, because it's just, I mean, it was cool because we had, people, there's a lot of people in the video, there's, obviously people in their costumes or whatever, but it's also, it's hard. Parking's difficult. Where can you get a little more privacy because everybody's around you? But I mean, it was cool. I think it was a good time. I mean, I enjoyed it. It was one of my highlights for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely sounds like quite the experience anyway. In your, correct me if I'm wrong, in your latest project, the Collection 2, right?
Yes, that was my latest full EP that I actually put out, and then I just released a single called "What Remains" with MDC exclusive. That was back in June, but I'm actually gearing up to put something else out in September. But yeah, the Collection 2 was the long story short. Yes, that was the longest of the projects. Yes.
All right, perfect. In that album, you explore alternative and industrial vibes. What inspired you to push into those sonic territories?
If you're vibing with the sounds and story of Milyssa Rose, don't stop here. Head over to underground-nation.com, where she's joined by countless rising voices making waves in the underground. From genre-bending innovators to powerful storytellers, stay connected with the next generation of music-breaking barriers. Discover exclusive interviews, news, and performances, and keep your ear tuned to the pulse of the scene. That's underground-nation.com, your home for all things underground.
When I was growing up, I listened to a lot of Nine Inch Nails and Ministry, and used to drive around and
my favorite bands.
Yes, my friends Prelude, and we would just listen to all kinds of music, Tori Amos, industrial, whatever. And I was like, I don't know why I've never tapped into this. So I reached out to Badmind because I know that he was an industrial artist at one point in time, and I said, if there's going to be the person that I'm going to do this with, it needs to be with you, because I know that he had strong ties to that, was vetted in that. So I reached out to him, and then that's how it became.
Hey, there we go. So definitely not scared to network and get out there and make sure you get resources if you don't have them.
Mm-hmm.
That says a lot about your resilience right there, because a lot of artists they're kind of timid, at least in the beginning.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if you don't ask, then you never know, right? The worst that somebody can say to you is no, right?
That is very true, and usually it's through social media or an email.
Yeah,
or through the phone.
Yeah, exactly. So I think, let's be honest. Nobody can do anything on their own, right? I mean, you do have to have a team. You have to have people in your corner, or people that you work with, you can rely on. So, but yeah, I mean, I feel like I've always been that kind of person that if I don't know how to do it, I'm going to find somebody, either figure it out how to do it, or find somebody that's smarter and better than me at it, right? Because I can't do everything.
Absolutely. We must have community.
Yes.
How do you balance being a performer and entrepreneur while keeping authenticity at the core of your music?
I'm blessed because I work for myself. So I think that says, a lot for that. And, I've been able to, I don't have a label. Like, I didn't have a label for a while. So I was doing everything on my own. And I was lucky enough that I was able to front that bill, because a lot of people are not able to, because it costs money. It costs money
sure does.
To do everything, and you may or may not ever make it back. But I mean, I've been really lucky in that I've been able to balance that. I mean, I think if I didn't work for myself, I think it would be much more difficult.
I agree 100% with that statement. I work 100% independent with the podcast, the magazine, and my music, media, financial world. And I always give entrepreneurs and artists advice on their current situations and where they stand. But a lot of them, one common mistake I find a lot is there's never an actual plan in place. They have desire, they have want, and they just keep doing things. And I think that's where a lot of artists get tripped up, or they give up or frustrated and want to quit because they're not getting the results that they desire, but yet they never actually put on paper or claim the actual results they wanted to achieve in the first place.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's big. That's a big thing. I think people need to understand, first and foremost, this is a business, right? You have to copyright, you have to register your music. There's things that you have to do. It's just not, I'm going to put a song on SoundCloud and do a video and then voila, it's all going to work out. You can have a hope and a dream, but you have to have a plan, right? I mean, that's something I never understood. And I think that because in our society now where it's all rinse, cycle, repeat, where they think, oh, well, this person's just putting up a TikTok video and the next week they're rapping and they went viral, I can do it too. And it's like, it doesn't work that way.
Nope, sure doesn't. But consistency sure works in a similar way.
Yeah, that's true.
In your career, you've opened for names like Faith Evans and B5. Can you share a story from a show that still gives you chills today?
I would say when I did Centennial Olympic Park, so it was for Look Up Atlanta, which is the largest fireworks display in the Southeast.
Woo, that's been fun. Oh, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, so they did a talent search for it, and they only picked like 10 people out of like 100 to do it. And I honestly thought that I was going to pee myself on stage because, that's a big deal. Like thousands of people come out to this. And I was a little nerve-wracked because that was the biggest crowd I've ever performed to. But I would say that would be the one. I mean, and then I was able to do it and I didn't, get nervous and I didn't, screw up like I thought I was going to. Because, in your head, like before you go on, you're like, oh, you hype yourself up so high. But I enjoyed it. So I'm glad I got that off got that off my list. I got to perform for more than most people can say, more than most people can say. And they had it televised on local television as well and streamed it. So.
Wow, incredible. What was the biggest takeaway from that experience? Were you able to build more fans, gain more sales?
You're locked into the Underground Nation podcast with your host with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie. We've got a music break coming your way, and this one's pure fire. Turn it all the way up, because this is a powerhouse artist, Milyssa Rose, with her track Alley. Stay tuned, the underground never sleeps.
I'm really sick of all you social media warriors. In fact, I'm sick of people in general. All these people all around me look like vultures. They surround me, they take up space, try to steal the blame. They're full of shit like Pizzagate. I can't stand up and leave phony manufactured like baloney. I stay humble, they just mumble, they drop the ball, they always fumble. They always fumble. And I don't normally do this kind of thing, but I'm inspired like Gollum and I need the ring. All the people can't stop staring. Do you like my earring? Why can't people just be normal? They act so paranoid, constant feelings from the deep south. Please keep my name out your mouth. I don't wanna suck you out. Holly, oxen free. I'll never let you be. Not gonna let you be. Holly, oxen free. You can have from me. You can have from me. On the internet, people so corny. It's all the same old story. Name drop.
I kind of networked with some people, other artists and and learned let me start here. There was such a diverse group of us that I got to see just different artists and the way they work and the way they put on their stage and the way that they prepare for their stage shows, because you don't normally see that, right? You easily just show up to a show, everybody does their thing, but we, had the rehearsals. And unfortunately at the time I was going through a death in the family, so I couldn't be there the whole time. And I kind of felt a little like I missed some of the experience that other people had because they did a song together that I wasn't able to do. And so I missed some of that camaraderie that they had, but I did get to see, how people do what they do, which was neat because everybody has their way of putting on their shows.
Yeah, absolutely. And I would imagine kind of on a larger scale than the normal bar or indie show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Very cool. Now that you bring that up, when you step on stage, how do you prepare yourself mentally and emotionally to give fans your all?
I think I'm more comfortable on the stage. I think in person, or if you meet me in real life, I'm a little awkward. I'm a little weird, very introverted.
People
I'm
say
kind
that
of
to me all
dorky.
the time, so it's cool.
Yeah, I'm kind of dorky. I like won't lie to you, like, but being on stage, I feel more comfortable.
Right on. It's almost like you're being able to be yourself.
Yes, exactly. I still get butterflies, and I still like get in my head of like, am I
Oh
going to
yeah.
mess up my words? Am I going to, be completely off key? Like, there's all these things that go on in your head. But yeah, I enjoy it. I mean, I still get the butterflies, which I think is good, right? Because if you
Yeah.
stop getting the butterflies, you stop getting the nerves, then you don't need to be doing it anymore. As how I feel about that.
I agree with that statement. My grandpa used to say the same thing. If you don't get the butterfly feeling before doing something crazy, probably not worth doing.
Yeah, I mean, it's
It's very
true.
cool. Yeah, it's true. It's very cool that you kind of said the same thing that he used to use it down. Like, whoa, wait, where did you get this, sir? Well, I'm looking forward to Juggalo Night in San Antonio. I'm
Yeah,
actually traveling down to San Antonio on
in
October
October.
3rd.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, that you're going to be with She Fest, right? With
Yes,
Razakel. Is
yes.
that how you pronounce? I don't know if I'm pronouncing. Is that correct?
With the Razakel
Okay, there it
and,
is.
the Splice Girls, the
Mhm.
whole Shrunken Head Festival is going to be popping off there in San Antonio on October 3rd and through the 5th. Underground Nation, we're sponsoring the event. I will be there doing on the spot interviews with anyone that's out there. So if you're there and you see me, definitely come up and talk with me. And talking to the artists behind the stage, and I'll be performing for my first time since the pandemic, so I'm pretty excited for that. And yeah, San Antonio seems to be hot right now. I'm really excited to go down there.
No, that'll be awesome. I've actually never been, but I will be there in November, which is exciting because I just signed with Truth Rack, which I'm super excited about. I think some of the guys on the
Woo!
panel have actually performed with. Is it Razakel? I don't know.
Yeah.
And I also did a song with her, but we've never connected. I did a song with
Oh.
Insane Most Wicked, and Magdina the Chemist was on it. It was called Why You Mad? And she was on there as well.
Hey,
And actually, Insane reached out to me and asked me to do a feature for that. So that was like my first real rap feature.
that's really cool. Look at that. Well, I cannot wait till the universe brings you ladies together to finally meet in person. That's going to be great. It's going to be a great thing for the underground. So, what kind of energy should fans expect from Milyssa Rose live set in Juggalo Night in San Antonio?
Oh, well, I'm all over the place, really. I have a lot of energy. Like, I always feel like I'm crawling onto my skin. But yeah, I'll probably do, across the board. I'm going to also kind of tailor what my set to, what I'm doing. But I'm probably going to, I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I think there's going to be a lot of energy. It's going to be wild. I think I'll just be a big ball of energy, really, like I always am.
Hey, big
That's the
ball of
best I can.
energy.
That's the best I can say right now.
I like that. Absolutely. Woo! So definitely tap in right now. Follow Milyssa Rose. Do not sleep on this. If you are in San Antonio, going to be going near San Antonio, definitely check out Juggalo Night. It's going down this November.
Yeah, November 8th at the Charity Bar.
There you go. There you go.
The underground never sleeps, and neither does the movement. The brand new issue of Underground Nation magazine is here packed front to back with exclusive artist interviews, raw stories, and the culture you can't find anywhere else. If you live for the underground, the music, the grind, the lifestyle, this magazine is for you. Don't wait. Don't sleep on it. Support the movement and grab your copy today at ugnstore.com. That's ugnstore.com. Get plugged into the underground and order your copy today.
You've tied your music to major causes like your anthem "Fierce and Fabulous" for Wow Ministries.
Mhm.
Why is giving back so essential for you?
I feel that one of the things that I've always said was, don't just do something because of money or, you know, fame. Do it because you have a purpose. And I feel like that's a kind of my purpose, is to empower. I want people to be empowered. I want people to feel like they can be themselves. I feel like people should, you know, kind of live authentically. And I just kind of preach that message, because I think that people have this mindset that we have to do things a certain way, and we can only go through life like, you have to do this or do that just because you need to wind up this way because everybody else, this is the formula of how you need to live. And I just really kind of preach that to everybody, is, you know, be who you are and don't try to change who you are, because at the end of the day, when you go to bed and you put your head down, you need to be happy with what you are doing. And screw what everybody else says. And with Wild Ministries, with Pastor Cassandra, she's absolutely amazing. I mean, she does so much for the community. I mean, there's not a lot of people, I will tell you, that are like an angel on earth. Like, she literally is the most selfless person I've ever met. And she approached me because she loved the song, and she's like, let's do like a PSA style video. And we focus on like domestic violence and mental health and bullying. And that's kind of how that was born. But Fierce and Fabulous, actually, I wrote that for someone else and they didn't want it.
No way.
Yeah, they didn't want it. So I think it's hilarious, because that song has kind of like followed me like everywhere. Like everybody knows that knows me knows that song. They're like, oh, you know, Fierce and Fabulous song, and it's like, oh, that song again. You know, it's not a bad song, but you know what I mean. Like, you know, when you like meet an artist and there's like one song that everyone wants them to sing, and they've done it so much, they're like, I mean, it's fun to do. I mean, it's fun to do, but I've done it so many times that sometimes I dread it. I probably shouldn't admit that, but whatever.
No, I remember Nicki Minaj freaking out because she had to perform the UFO song. I forget the name.
Oh, the Starship song.
Yeah, Starship song. She's like, don't you play that fucking song. Turn it off now, right in the middle of the set.
Yeah, I mean,
thought that was so awesome. I'm like, whoa.
But it's so real, though, because it's like people will meet you and they think that's like the only song that you may have, or that's how they recognize you. And you're like, no, but I have this too. And they're like, no.
Yeah, absolutely. I got some new stuff for you, all right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's really cool. How do you hope your music helps people who are going through struggles of their own?
I just hope that they know that, you know, I'll just say this. What bothers you today is probably not going to bother a year from now, right? Or 2 years from now, or 3 years from now, or 4 years from now. So even though you're going through a quote unquote storm, you know, you have to count your blessings, right? I tell people that all the time. Like, even in your darkest day, like, sit down and say to yourself, like, what do I really have going for me? Because this one horrible thing isn't going to define you or define your life. Unless, of course, you lose all your limbs or like an eye, and then that's a little different. But I mean, that's a little like over. You know what I mean? Like, most of the time, the drama and the shit you're going through isn't going to matter in 2 years or a year, or 3 months from now, or whenever.
Yes, absolutely. And even if you do lose an eye, you can still rehabilitate and use the other eye. Yeah, and you can get a cool patch. Absolutely, we can bedazzle that thing. We can bedazzle it together. Yeah. Me and Milyssa bedazzling your eye patch. Well, you mentioned a few things a little while ago that you made music like for domestic violence and such. What's the message you want women in the industry and your fans to walk away with after hearing your story? You don't have to be the carbon copy of what a female artist is. And I think that's the whole, you know, walk around half naked and pop it all the time and just talk about being, you know, a low down dirty hoe, I guess. I mean, which is fine if that's your thing, but that's not mine. You know what I mean? And I don't knock any, because I get into that like anybody else, right? Like your little Kim and all that, you know what I mean? But you don't have to be that way to be a female artist, right? And I feel like that's something that they, you know, shove down your throat. Like guy wanted to manage me, and he's like, you really need to sex it up. You really need to walk around. Oh my goodness, really? You really need to do this. Yeah, and you need to do. Another guy was like, well, I've got this artist and you need to do songs about doing 3-ways. And I'm like, oh, whoa. And I was like, wait a minute, sir. But I feel like that's not me. Like, that's not me. And I have a hard time performing and doing music. That's not me. You know what I mean? If that's somebody else, that's great. More power to them. I'm not saying that you can't do that, but that's not me.
And I feel like women need to understand, like, you don't have to, go by this formula that they've made, that you're just eye candy.
Right. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Sex it up. I would have slapped him right there on the spot, Mr. Manager. You gotta manage these nuts.
Yeah. I feel like everybody has their thing and everybody has their lane. And I don't think that people should be forced to do anything they don't want to do.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's why here at the Underground, we are against record labels as much as possible to help the underground stay underground and thrive to be independent. As much as possible, anyway.
You're tuned in to the Underground Nation podcast with your host, with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie. It's time to crank it up. Here's Milyssa Rose bringing the heat with her explosive track, Set the World on Fire. Let the flames rise. The underground is alive.
Set the world on fire. Set ablaze, liar, liar. You cannot stop the surge. Death is near, it feels like the purge. People against people. Divided by beliefs, police by the face. Mindless over in control. Idiots are striking gold. Greed and self-centeredness to kill all the innocent. Set the world on fire. Throw the fuel and watch the flame go higher. Set the world on fire. Throw the fuel and watch the flame go higher. Raise the views. Lower IQs. Substance is extinct. Can't get this filth off my skin. Blood leaks through your veins. Flesh turns pale, bodies impaled. No one can stop the hurt. Raise your glass to death or
Now I kind of say that, being an artist, your creativity is boundless. But how do you personally navigate the business side of music, like budgeting for projects or planning your next moves?
I think I'm a planner, and I think about it, and I think about how much I want to spend on something or what I want to do with it. So I've been pretty good with that.
That's really cool.
Fortunately.
Can I ask, because you're now kind of seeing both sides, and I mean being independent and now working with a record label, right?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen any kind of difference, or maybe with support on the financial end from the business or from the record label's perspective?
I feel that now I have a network of people that I can rely on, that I can get feedback from, that can help me assist with things I normally wouldn't be able to, like, with the video editing or production. Now I have that, like, in my pocket, if you will. Like, I know that I can call upon them and they can call upon me, and we can work with each other that way.
Right.
So that's definitely a blessing for sure.
Right. So it's not so much of a financial blessing; it's more of a resourceful blessing.
I look at everything as more like resources as opposed to I'm going to rely on this person for X, Y, and Z. Like I really enjoy working with people because of their creativity and what their feedback and what their ears hear, but I don't hear. Or if I'll send something and they'll be like, "Oh, Milyssa, I don't like that. You need to do this," or "I feel like you can work. Let's try this," and just So I just get a fresh set of ears on what I'm doing, or like my visuals. If I send them something, okay, well, I'd like to see you, wear another outfit and do another location, because that'll add, you just hear that and it's like, oh, okay, cool. I didn't think about that. That's something I didn't think of, because like I told you, I've been very self-contained. So I didn't really have this network of people that I could call to assist me, but now I do. And they all have, their expertise and things. So that's,
oh my goodness. So things are just about to start going snowball.
And I feel more motivated now. Like I feel more motivated. I will tell you, I feel like I'm in a good place. For a while, I did not feel like I was in a good place. I kind of felt like I was all by myself, like a fish out of water. Now I feel like I have a quote unquote home, which truth rap. I feel like I have, they're like, I'm the only female. So it's like I have brothers. I always wanted a brother. Now I have several of them.
Woo-wee. So watch out there, gentlemen. Approach with caution. Well, with that said, being kind of launching everything with the new label and a new era, sounds like, if you could invest in one area to grow your career faster, marketing, merch, touring, or production, where do you feel is the next move?
I would like to tour. I think that would be a big one, or kind of open up, for like bigger shows. I mean, I do a lot of independent shows, a lot of indie artists, but it would be nice to kind of, maybe open up for, a bigger name artist.
Absolutely. Has there been any discussions on possible tours after the Juggalo show in San Antonio?
We have been talking about different shows and things in the works, but we're really trying to figure out like what makes the most sense, right?
Yeah.
That's also too, right? You have to think, like when as you know, like with even features, like let's just say you want to do a feature with somebody, is that person really aligned with your brand?
Right.
Because if you go and do, a show with, you put me in front of like a bunch, well, this is just a random example, like a Taylor Swift fan, I might not fare well, right? You know what I mean? It all has to make sense. And that's a big thing too. Like people approach me about shows and they're like, I want you to sing at this and this. And then I know that I'm not going to be a good fit,
Well, I can tell you could rock a Taylor Swift audience before I could. Shit. Rock that thing.
Yeah, I mean, we're trying to figure out what makes sense, right? Because that's the big thing. What's going to be good for the brand? What's going to be good for the label? What's going to make sense?
Absolutely. Well, sounds like you're at a pretty fun stage with this band of brothers, and I'm very excited to see everything that you're going to be rolling out going into next year.
All right, thank you. I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And the Underground Nation wants to support you as much as possible. So please, going forward, any singles, merch, tour announcements, please send it all over. We'll love to help you share it out to the masses.
Okay, awesome. And likewise, too. I mean, it's all about, networking and helping each other out. So, yes, for sure.
That's right. Network builds your net worth.
Yeah, that's true. And I do, and I know that the label, I think, is probably going to reach out to you about getting some artists on and submitting their.
Yeah, bring the whole band of brothers. Come on over. We'll set up a time. We'll have a big old shindig together. Bring out the barbecue, boys. So, Milyssa, when you think about your legacy and for your family and community, your fans, what does that look like for you, and what do you want to be remembered for?
Looking for the real voices, the raw stories, and the underground culture they don't show you on the surface? Visit www.underground-nation.com and unlock the Underground Nation magazine digital archive. From exclusive interviews with rising artists and tattoo legends to full issues packed with underground music, ink, fashion, and rebellion, it's all there. New issues drop regularly. Every page, every voice, every movement. Tap into the culture at www.underground-nation.com. The underground isn't just music, it's a nation.
I just want to be remembered for trying to promote just being authentic and just being who you are. I know that may sound like I'm like in a pageant, but I preach that to everyone all the time. It's just like you've got to be yourself. In an industry that wants you to follow a protocol of what things need to be. I feel like that's big. You need to make sure that you remain authentic and to your art and to yourself and to your fans. That's a big thing for me, because I don't ever want to feel, and also be humble as well. That's a big thing too, because I think there's a lot of ego, and I just want to be remembered that, you know, anyone can come up and talk to me. Like, I'm not whatever. I mean, I've had people walk up to me before. They'd be like, "Oh my God, it's you," and I'm like, "Girl, I'm just like you. Like, I take a shit just like you. Like, I do everything that you do. Like, you know, I think." I mean, I saw an artist say before, you know, there's so much, like, you know, people do meet and greets and people will give them gifts and sign. And it's like, everybody deserves this kind of love. And I think that's true. Like, it really doesn't matter who you are, right? Like, everybody deserves like the same kind of love and respect that everyone else does. Just because somebody writes and gets on stage doesn't make them any better than anybody else.
Absolutely. It's incredible. Incredible. No wonder people relate to you so much. That's an amazing mindset you have.
Oh, thank you.
Absolutely. I hope that this goes off to many other artists that hear this, that they adopt that mindset. I'm sure it didn't happen overnight, but it's incredible to see where you are today.
Oh, thank you. Now, you know, I've always said, I mean, you see it all the time, right? I go to shows and I see other artists and they're just so arrogant and they act like their shit doesn't stink because of this or that or whatever. And I'm like, we're on the same stage, you know? Like, you're no better than me, and I'm no better than you. We're in the same damn place. I don't know why you're acting cocky. Like, that always blew my mind. It's like, we're in the same damn place.
I know. Sit down.
We're using the same bathroom. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I don't see your...
Sorry, Melissa, I'm using the bathroom in the back, darling. I didn't go out there at the bar. You're crazy.
Yeah, you didn't show up in, like, $1 million film. Like, sit down.
I'm a fucking hip-hop star. You crazy, Melissa?
Yeah.
Get out of here, tough guy. Well, Milyssa Rose, we're definitely excited for everything to be out rolling here going into next year. Definitely going to be tuning in to see you. Hopefully, there'll be a live stream available for the Juggalo show in San Antonio. And if there is, we'll definitely be plugging in.
Well, I appreciate that. Thank you. And thank you so much for having me. It was awesome. So I guess it all kind of aligned. So I felt those kind of fate that we all kind of got together.
Yes. Absolutely. I am one with the universe, and the universe will bring us abundance as long as we keep pushing.
Yeah.
Milyssa Rose, tell all the new listeners where they can find you right now to follow, like, and subscribe.
The best place to find me is mrosemusic.com because no one can ever spell my name, so that's the best. All my links are on there, or it's Milyssa Rose, Milyssa Rose. And, you know, I'm on all streaming sites, YouTube, Facebook, you know, Spotify, everywhere. Everywhere you can find music.
Everywhere you can find music, you'll find a Milyssa Rose.
Yes.
There you go. Well, thank you again, Milyssa Rose. You're an amazing artist.
Thank you. I enjoyed myself. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. You are a blessing for the Underground Nation with your story, your music, and your unstoppable energy. To everyone out there listening, make sure you tap in to stream her new single, What Remains. Check out her album, The Collection 2, and catch her live at the Juggalo Night in San Antonio. Follow her on all platforms, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Music, SoundCloud, wherever you vibe. Support real artistry. We are out, Underground Nation. Until next time, stay real, stay raw, and stay underground.
That's a wrap on today's episode of the Underground Nation podcast with your host, with the ghost, Bounce Ball Boogie. Big thanks to our guest, the powerhouse, Milyssa Rose. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe to her on all platforms and keep supporting her journey. And don't forget to visit underground-nation.com for more rising voices, news, and everything underground.